Jim Harbaugh might not have meant to do this, but he certainly just made things blatantly obvious to anyone truly with a brain or any reasoning ability. We know about the allegations. We know about the multiple suspensions. We know about him missing 6 of Michigan's 12 games this year during the regular season. And there's been speculation all year that after this season, Harbaugh may bolt for the NFL. And then them winning the national championship certainly seemed to increase that speculation because what's left for him at the collegiate level, especially with the NCAA investigating multiple infractions and multiple potential violations by he and his staff. But to me, outside of any of the investigation or any of the evidence that's come out, the pictures of Connor Stallions on another sideline, the most damning piece of evidence to me is that Harbaugh is now asking for immunity in negotiating his contract with Michigan. The immunity he's asking for is in case Michigan agrees with the NCAA or the NCAA levies penalties against Michigan. He doesn't want to be hurt financially or maybe subsequently fired or maybe not owed a buyout if the NCAA comes down hard on his program. Asking for immunity is objectively hilarious. Obviously, Harbaugh has been interviewing with the NFL. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think he stays? Do you think he goes? Where do you think he ends up? Atlanta, maybe with the Chargers, maybe back in Michigan, maybe somewhere else. Let's talk about that. But asking for immunity is hilarious. People have tried to speculate and reason as to why he might be doing that. Oh, well, what if Michigan agrees to something and he doesn't agree to it and then he gets in trouble for it? Listen, asking for immunity is only something you do if you know that there's bad evidence against you, or you know that there is a chance that the hammer comes down, or that you know that you're guilty. Mike Norvell just had a contract extension when his name was rumored with the Alabama job. Others as well, when you think about Steve Sarkisian and other coaches that were part of this, I don't believe either of them or really any of those coaches involved with that were asking for immunity. And heck, Florida State got sanctioned by the NCAA just the day before for some recruiting violations, and Norvell still wasn't asking for immunity. How bad is this NCAA hammer ban going to be dropped on Michigan if he's having to ask for immunity in a contract? Again, Norvell was sanctioned the day before and didn't ask for it. Ultimately, and I don't know what Harbaugh ends up doing or where he is coaching next year, but asking for immunity proves one thing. You know that you were wrong. Or at the very least, you know that they have something on you. It reminds me of Trump asking about pardoning himself during his final days in office for future crimes. Can I give myself blanket immunity for anything that may come up or may have been done in the past or will happen in the future? And of course, he was told, no, you have to specify very certain things that you would want to pardon someone for, including yourself. Nobody who's innocent asks for immunity. Nobody who has done nothing wrong needs to be cleared before sanctions come down. Yet, that's exactly what Harbaugh is doing here. How does this all end? Where does it all land? What kind of trouble does Michigan get in? Do they take away the championship that we saw them win just about a week and a half ago? I'm not sure. But I do know that Jim Harbaugh is worried about it. I do know that Jim Harbaugh knows that they're coming for him. I know that Jim Harbaugh knows that they're coming for the University of Michigan. There have been times, and I've heard people speculate on this, that certain NFL teams have looked to get Jim Harbaugh, and in this situation, it feels like he's looking to jump to the NFL. Now, is that because he's an NFL guy? Is that because that's where his real passion is? Is that because that's what he's always wanted to do? Maybe. The timing seems coincidental if those are the case, because it seems a little bit more like this is what's being forced, because he knows he needs to get the heck out of Dodge. Where do you think he ends up? What do you think ends up happening with this? Does Michigan give him immunity in a contract extension negotiation that they have going on right now? We'll certainly continue to follow it. Hey, brand new channel. We talked about Nick Saban a little bit yesterday and him kind of leaving Alabama out in the cold. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can click the video on the screen to see yesterday's video. Appreciate you guys for tuning into College Football Addiction.